Hello everyone, welcome back to another wonderful video. Today, I have for you the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. This video is geared for new players and we'll be going over the basic rules that are listed in the Player's Handbook. So, buckle up and enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome to the first video in this series. This first video will be pretty short. It's just over the basic rules. As you see here, we have the lovely Player's Handbook. And I have stuff that keeps getting in the way. We got our nice table of contents. Alright, so I'm going to skip through the introduction and the worlds of adventure and go straight to using this book on page 6. So here's our lovely book of instructions. Starting off with how to play, I'm just going to be hitting the main bullet points. First off, the DM describes the environment. So that's pretty simple. The DM is the story, telling the main story, and the characters are reacting. So that's the first part, the DM telling the story, telling what everything's like, where everything is. Then the second point, the players describe what they want to do. That's where the players take what they're given, they decide how they're going to interact with the world. 3. The DM narrates the results of the adventurer's actions. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The DM, it describes what is around. The players tell how they would like to interact with the world. And after a few dice rolls, the DM tells them how well or how poorly things go. On to game dice. The game uses several dice which are represented by the letter D, followed by the number of sides that the dice has. Now that may be pretty simple to some. Others, it may be a little difficult to comprehend and keep up with. But just remember, a D4 is a 4-sided dice, a D20 is a 20-sided dice, etc., etc. The D20, that is the most used die. Looks just like this one. You can tell because the highest number on it is the 20. You roll your die and you add the appropriate modifiers, which we will get to a little later on. Apply any circumstantial bonuses, which will usually lead to advantage or disadvantage, which the DM should tell you. Compare the total to the target number. There's a DC number, which is your difficulty rating that the DM has. If you roll equal to that number or higher, then you succeed. Advantage and disadvantage. This is one that when I started out, it was a little complicated for me. What advantage and disadvantage is, they're two separate things, but they both require 2 D20 rolls. Normally, when taking an action or doing some sort of ability check, you would have to roll 1d20 and take that roll. Advantage, I've got a 7 there, I would roll a second die. I've got a 7 and a 15. With advantage, I would take that roll and I would take the higher of the number, so I would take the 15. Disadvantage is the exact opposite. I would roll the die, and I would have to take the lower of the two numbers. So if I had disadvantage, I would have to take 7. There's a quick little note that for most games, depending on your DM, but the rules actually tell you round down. Even if you are 0.5 or 0.8 or whatever, if you do your math and do not have a whole number, round down. Let's go around here to the next page. The 3 pillars of adventure. The first one, exploration. That's where the DM builds the world. Maybe you hear rumors about what's nearby and you want to go explore. Second, social interaction, which that's just picking out another person, either a non-player character or a player character, and talking to them, interacting with actual people. And the third, combat. That's pretty straightforward. You see something you don't like, you hit it in the head. So that's the basic rules that are listed in here. Next, we'll get into creating a character. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Join us again next week and we'll start in the building your character section. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Comment whatever the heck you want. Tell me I did a great job, tell me I did a terrible job. Just leave a comment. It's nice to know that people care. Alright, bye. See you next week.